Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Izzy and I hope that you have enjoyed the international break, but we all love some Premier League and we are going to be focusing on some quick fire predictions. But first, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this content, please consider hitting that like button and that subscribe button to let YouTube know that you are enjoying this content. We are going to go ahead and get started with Liverpool taking on Everton at Anfield, a game that I have given Everton no shot of victory. I have this prediction going as a 3-0 victory to Liverpool, simply because I think I beat up on Everton a lot, but I think everybody realizes that Liverpool are a very good team. They are one or two players away from consistently challenging for the Premier League title, and I do not think Everton are going to stand in their way as far as this game is going to go. Now, Everton have shown some signs of life recently. They've won a few games, but I don't think that they're going to be a match for Liverpool. I have this as a 3-0 victory. Maybe if Liverpool feel a little generous, they might give Everton a goal in the first half, because we know they have been having a tendency of falling a goal behind. But I just don't see this as being a game in which Liverpool are going to struggle. So a 3-0 victory for them, and maybe Everton can surprise us, but I have a lot of doubts about that. Next up, we have Brentford hosting Burnley, a game that I'm predicting to go 2-1 to Brentford. Now, Brentford have not had a very positive set of results in their last 5 games, but they did play well against Manchester United, but they unfortunately succumbed to 2 late McTominay goals. You can argue whether Manchester United deserved them, but United only needed to win. That's all they needed. Brentford do need to start picking up some points, because I do think that they're a very good side. Thomas Frank is probably going to try and align his side differently, especially since he's going to be facing a Burnley side who we know are very stubborn and they want to play football. These are the type of games that I think Burnley should try and play more pragmatically, because these are the type of fixtures that you think they will be able to have a chance to get some points. However, I don't give them a chance in this game. I have them losing this game 2-1, and Brentford will try and get their gears going again. Next up, Wolves travel to Bournemouth, a game that I'm predicting to be 1-1. Now, maybe I'm giving Bournemouth a little too much credit in this game, but I do think that Wolves have a problem scoring goals, and Bournemouth definitely have a problem scoring goals. Bournemouth have a problem winning games. Wolves, not so much. I did originally go for Wolves to win this game 1-0, but I do think that Bournemouth are going to show some signs of fight, being that this is after the international break, so this should be a reset for their team. I do still fear for their manager, Iraola. I do think that he is going to be the first casualty if anything goes awry in this game. I'm probably going to give him maybe 2 or 3 more games max, but if nothing changes, Bournemouth show with the dismissal of Gary O'Neill late last season that they don't have any problem with changing managers. Now, on the other hand, Gary O'Neill is going to visit his former club, and I think he's going to try and pull one over them. Now, I still do lean towards Wolves, but a 1-1 draw is what I see, because I think that Wolves do have a problem, especially away from home, winning games. So this is going to be a 1-1 draw as far as I'm concerned. And then Nottingham Forest face Luton Town, a game which I have Nottingham Forest winning 2-1. Luton, as we know, are one of the 3 most struggling sides in the league. I still think they're going to find it extremely hard to break down Nottingham Forest, who now are going to be faced against a team that they really should go hammer and tongs against. They should win this game, and they should win it by actually controlling the game. But we have seen in the first 8 games that Nottingham Forest do not like having the ball. They like giving it away to sides who they believe are stronger than them. I think they are much stronger than Luton. They should be much more confident going in this game, and I think a 2-1 victory will be just desserts for them. I really like Nottingham Forest. I really like what they're doing, and I don't see Luton causing them too many problems. And then we have a heavyweight clash. Manchester City taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. I have this game going 3-2 to Manchester City. I think Man City are going to have to regroup. They did not have the best of games when they faced Arsenal. They did not break them down. Erling Haaland was having a lot of problems up front because he just was not getting as much service. They had some issues as well against Newcastle. And while they were able to overcome Leipzig, they have not been at their best in their most recent games. And as such, I think that they will need a reboot, and this is just the game for them to be able to do it at the Etihad against another strong opposition in Brighton. I think Man City will overpower them because Manchester City are that much of a better side. Brighton are a very good team, take nothing away from them, but if you want to go toe-to-toe against the master of tiki-taka, I think that De Zerbi is going to have some problems. Now, if this game was at the Amex, I might see the result being different. But for right now, I'm going to lean to a Manchester City 3-2 victory. I think both sides are very, very good at scoring goals. I think Brighton are well worth their weight. They are, I think, still the top scorers in the Premier League so far. Manchester City, can score hatful of goals when they're on song. They probably just need to get their wingers, such as Doku and Nunez and Foden, firing a little bit better. They need to get Grealish back into that team. They need to get some more familiarity. And once they get that, I think they'll be fine. So 3-2 to Manchester City, but fingers crossed that Brighton actually do something and take the 3 points. And then Newcastle against Crystal Palace. Newcastle score a lot of goals. Crystal Palace don't score many goals. Newcastle have a very good record against Crystal Palace recently. Crystal Palace don't have a very good record against Newcastle recently. Newcastle are also being buoyed by the fact that they are going to be having a couple of players returning for them. Unfortunately, Sandro Tonali might be not in the frame of mind to play. We all know about his gambling problem that has come to the fore. And so they might need to rejigger that midfield a little bit. They should have Gordon coming back. So on the whole, a positive for Newcastle. Crystal Palace are a good side, but they just don't score very many goals. I think that they're going to lose this game 1-0. I think Newcastle are a much better side, but historically, this fixture does not tend to have a lot of goals in them. I think the last time we saw anything more than a 3-goal score was when Newcastle got thumped 5-1 at Crystal Palace. I don't think that's going to happen right now. The sides are in two totally different spectrums on the field, and Newcastle are going to win this game. I have them winning it 1-0. And then on to Arsenal, traveling to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea, a game that I'm predicting to go 2-0 to Arsenal. I think that Chelsea have made some strides as far as their players' confidence and as far as their team play and their cohesion, but I still do think that Arsenal are going to try and ride off of that wave, albeit sandwiched between the international break, but they are going to try and ride that wave off of that Manchester City victory. They have to win this game. And the reason why I think they have to win this game is to push their title credentials even further against a side that they have, let's be honest, dominated over the last 4 or 5 years. Despite the loss against Chelsea in the Europa League, Arsenal's recent results against them have been very good. So some of the things we're going to be looking forward to in this game are going to be whether Kai Havertz will play, if he's going to reprise that number 8 role. Is Jorginho going to start in midfield, since Thomas Partey had a nice little cameo against Manchester City? On the other side, will Chelsea's team click? They have been having a lot of problems this season, but hopefully for the Chelsea fans, they might be able to do well. However, I still do have them losing this game 2-0. Next up, we have Manchester United traveling to Sheffield United, a game that I am going to predict to be a 1-0 victory for Man United. I think United are going to try and keep that momentum that they had just before the break. That was a very crucial victory. Sheffield United is one of the 3 teams that we know are going to struggle this season. The 3 promoted teams have not done very well, and they just don't have a team that's going to do well. The sale has absolutely hampered Manchester United. It has disaffected a lot of the fans, and even worse, it seemed to have unstabilized Manchester United's managerial staff. What they need to do is try to band together and just get another victory. The Sheffield United game is not going to be the hardest game that they're going to face this season, but if they get a negative result on this, it is going to fuel a lot of the disaffection that the fans have had for the team. Jadon Sancho is still being exiled. There's a lot of conjecture as who's going to play. Anthony has had his issues off field. Ten Hag has been looking very forlorn in his technical bench. So there's a lot of problems in Manchester, but I do think that they are going to be able to win this game. I'm going to say that they're going to win this game 1-0. And then we have Aston Villa hosting West Ham, a game that I'm predicting to be 2-2. Aston Villa are playing very well this season. West Ham as well have been very good so far. Both teams boast a very, very strong starting lineup, and both of them should have aspirations for Europe. I do think that this game is going to be a high-scoring game because Aston Villa at home has shown that they are more than capable of taking care of similar opponents as West Ham. You remember their thrashing of Brighton right before the break. West Ham and Aston Villa are both going to be preparing for midweek games. This is going to be an important game for one of them to win because you want to start knocking out your European rivals when you have the opportunity to. So this game is going to be 2-2. It's going to be an entertaining game. I think that West Ham are going to try and play on the back foot. Unai Emery, is one of those possession-based managers, and so they are going to try and be on the front foot for most of the game. However, I do think that this is going to be a stalemate. And then finally, Tottenham are taking on Fulham in a London derby. I have this game being a 2-0 victory for Tottenham. I think that they have been playing very well. It has been well publicized that Ange Postecoglou has gotten them feeling very good since he took over from Antonio Conte. I think that Fulham are not going to offer too much of a resistance, and this should be a game that Tottenham should win. And if they have any chance of trying to continue this good run of form, they need to dispatch of sides such as Fulham. Fulham don't score too many goals. I don't see a reason why Tottenham would fail to put them away in this game. Stranger things have happened in football, but I do have Tottenham winning this game. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is there going to be a surprise at Stamford Bridge? Do you think Manchester City could be toppled by Brighton? Let me know. I will catch you guys when we review most of the games later on today. Peace.